Hey, happy KOTG Tuesday.
Just another
How's
Tuesday.
everybody doing?
Oh man,
Welcome, fellas.
little thunder and lightning over my place, so I might be cutting in and out. I've been cutting in and out, but that's good for the grass, right? Little moisture.
Gonna get some
Free
rain.
nitrogen.
Yay!
And I'm over here
Free
chilling
fertilizer.
in Viva Las Vegas this week.
Hey-o.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So I will not be telling you anything that's going on. But drunk lawn guy can probably attest. My wife was telling me it was snowing in Utah today, so we're not quite ready for spring yet. Might be headed your guys' way next couple days.
That's crazy.
But in other bigger news, Olee Poole has covered his rock.
What?
Yeah.
Hey-o.
Can I say hell to the yeah? I hope so.
That's gonna be a good feeling.
Man, I about shed a tear.
I know it's like every week he talked about having to get out there and cut some up and then keep going and going and going. You finally got it done. That's awesome.
Finally got it all cut and it's all hauled off and it's all covered, chunk, top smothered, Waffle House style.
Yeah.
Smothered, chunk, covered, whatever it is.
How much did you have to get a whole bunch of topsoil dirt to bring in to fill all that hole, or what'd you end up doing to fill it in?
Yep.
Yeah.
I already had some dirt on hand before I had seeded the one that I covered up. When I was bringing that dirt in, I went ahead and dumped like 2 truckloads close by that hole. And that way I wouldn't have to drive all over the turf because I knew I was going to get the other seeded.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it, close by. Plus I had all the original that I dug out.
Yeah.
And then I had 1 load of that leaf compost.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got all the field dirt in the bottom and tamped, I took and rolled all that other together, and it actually made a good looking topsoil.
Now I know you were trying to go for like 12 inches or something, but how big did you get?
How deep?
Yeah, how deep did you get?
Deep.
We starting already?
Yes, sir. We're starting already. I got a full 16 and
Wow,
across the whole top of it.
16 inches.
So I had to have plenty of room to go deep with the root. So should be good.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
What do they do with all that rock, Olee? Where do they take it? Do you have to pay to get rid of it, or do they?
No, I had a buddy that was filling in a gully. So
Okay.
It worked
That's
out
awesome.
wonderful.
Yeah.
All
That's
I wanted
awesome.
to see it was leave. After fighting with it, I just wanted it gone.
Right. Well, the live chat is alive and well. We already got 40 something people in. I saw Alex Carney was in first, talking about so fertile.
Yeah.
And then we got LTZ thought he was first, but that's all right. He's
It must have been neck and neck between those two.
second. Yeah. Eli's fish and fescue.
So fertile.
Papa, what's up, Papa?
Hey, bearded long guy. Rooted's in here. Grass Geek. What's up, guys?
Drunk one guy wants to
Hey.
fert me or fert him. What's up, drunk one guy?
Hey, speaking of
Birding
that,
all over the place.
speaking of wanting to flirt somebody, I see a good-looking man join us today.
Yeah.
This got awkward real quick. I was more interested in figuring out what what'd you say it was, a gully?
A gully?
Golly.
Yeah,
Gully?
A gully?
yeah.
You don't know what a gully is?
Listen,
Ah, dang, man. A gully is a big hole, I guess you
That's
say.
what I was going to say. It sounds like a big hole to me.
Well, a gully.
I don't know what that is,
Do
but
we only have gullies? Do we only have gullies in North Carolina?
No, I know what gully is. What do you call it in Oklahoma, Aaron?
it's called a hole.
Big hole.
Sounds like
A gully
I've
for
never-
me is like a valley.
Gully's a lot more.
oh, okay,
than a
like a
hole.
valley.
Gully's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot
No,
more.
I'm just giving Olee crap. That's all.
Like a ravine or something?
Well, we appreciate you jumping on, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, guys.
Join us to
Yeah.
talk about fertilizer tonight. I wanted to kind of told Zach, let's get you on because I'd like to hear your because I know you're an all liquid type person, so I wanted to get that aspect of it. But we're a few minutes into this, so I say let's grab a glass or water bottle or whatever you got.
Little
And,
KOTG.
Keep off
Bill?
the grass.
I don't know if I can.
What do you got?
You got to
can
go to
see
light
it.
the blue moon tonight. Yeah.
Just for you,
My
Bill.
man.
I got a beer, and then I don't have anything else other than my wife's White Claws. So I'll be drinking some White Claw.
Heineken White Claw. Nice. Olee, was that a Coca-Cola?
That's just a plain old Coke, man.
Coca-Cola tonight. All right.
Hard to beat. It's good stuff.
What do you got in your Yeti over there, Bill?
I had wine earlier, but I've switched to Diet Coke because I do have to work in the morning. So I had 2.5 glasses, and I was like, "All right, I'm done." I'm
Pre-game
gonna fall asleep halfway into the show.
early.
Yeah. Get the kids out to bed early, and got an hour to kill.
So the first person in the chat, can we can I shoot them something?
You want to shoot him something? So that was Alex Carney was the first person I saw. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
AC.
So you got a Winfield Pro hat, right?
Yep. I
All
got
right, so
it won't be this one because I've already sweated this one up today. I got some clean ones.
all right, so
Just
there
get
you
his,
go.
Get his address and we'll shoot it to him.
You got I gotta put somebody in timeout, man. It's pretty dumb. Anyways, we're talking fertilizer tonight, guys. Spring fertilizer.
Getting things growing.
Getting things growing, getting things woken up. Some of you guys have already woken up. Bill, Olee, I'm pretty jealous of you guys. Aaron, your stuff's when your ryegrass is going to go dormant and Bermuda's going to come up when?
Ryegrass got killed off for second week of March, and so it's pretty much dead. Front yard's at 3/16 of an inch right now. So if there's any ryegrass holding on, it's struggling.
Okay.
You're
And then
green right now?
Huh?
You're green right now? Bermuda's green?
No, I got dirt. I think they call it dirt stripes on the, the YouTubes.
Dusty grass.
Yeah. So, and then my backyard, it's cool season mix. So I'm still learning how to figure out blue muta and what that looks like. And so I'm actually behind the curve. Adam at Mountain View Seeds has been super cool, answering questions for me about how to treat Kentucky bluegrass in a place it shouldn't be. So
Cool.
need to get on the
Yeah,
game
so-
there.
Is that something new that you're trying out this year, or that you started last year and this would be your first full year of doing both, or have you done that before? I don't recall if you've.
This might be my third year. It's for sure my
Okay.
second. It might be my third year having it, but listen, no expert here.
Yeah, it's
Still
always
trying to
learning
dial it in.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never claim to be experts. We're just having fun, man.
I did my first application. I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. I knew we were going to get some good rain. I knew all my stuff is some slow release organic-y stuff. So when I put down my pre-emergent after we had some nice weather, I threw down a bag of fertilizer as well. And we've had quite a bit of rain and some decent warm weather. So I'm nice and green. I'm not growing vigorously yet, but I look better than the neighbors already. So I definitely, it could have been some residual from last year. Maybe I did go pretty heavy with my fert apps and all of my overseeding and stuff, but definitely already greening up, not filled in quite as much as I like. So I'm really excited to see how things will go here in a month or two. But I did 700. I got Anderson's lawn box fertilizer this year that I'm trying out and did that. So don't know if it's kicked in yet. I don't know how slow release this slow release stuff is. It is all organic, so it might get started, but definitely gonna see how it does, and it'll thicken up here soon.
Bill, is this typical time for you in Missouri? Because I usually
It feels
thought it was
early.
cold.
Yeah, I mean it's early for us. Like we had a few really nice weeks. We got some cool for a few days, but relative to last year and even the year before, I think so. My birthday is next Saturday, and it's like my birthday weekend. And usually that's like my first mow of the season. Typically, or maybe I got one beforehand, but I'm already think I've mowed 3 times already. So we're definitely ahead this year, but shoot, we could get some cold coming through again anytime. But right now I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm excited. It's been fun so far. I'm pumped because it's not too hot, but it's really enjoyable.
How happy are you with, because you did a pretty much a full renovation of that place. How are you happy with it coming in?
I think it turned out really well. Like I'm impressed with how well it did. This is like I hadn't done this extensive. I had a bunch of dead spots when I did my first overseeding, but there's still a good amount of turf mixed in there. But this time I cleared out quite a bit, and it looks really good. Definitely would continue to overseed year on year in the fall. I would imagine by maybe 2 more seasons it would look amazing if I kept at it, but hopefully we'll be out of here in a month or 2 in a new permanent home.
And you had a salad bar pretty much you started with.
Yeah, I killed off a lot. I'm more excited to see how my side yard does. The side yard, I didn't do any Roundup. I just did the quinclorac, sprayed it everywhere, and it's actually pretty darn weed free right now. There's a few spots and there's some thin areas of the grass, but the weeds are gone. And I'm like, wow, that did better than I was expecting. I was expecting more to pop up. So I did my pre-merge and my prodiamine 2 weeks ago, and the grass is starting to wake up, but minimal weeds so far. So I'm like, man, that did really well
That's good.
last year. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's awesome. So Olee, you're gonna probably be your grass is coming back to life already for a while now. You got some awesome stripes going on, but with the rock coverage, what's kind of your plans for that as far as seeding and what fertilizer are you going to put down?
Definitely some Mountain View. Got some Mountain View cultivars, and I'll probably use a good bit of Earthworks because I want to get some good organic stuff going there. I think I'm going to use some of the 333 with the mycorrhiza, to try to promote some good root establishment, especially still got a couple months before it's going to get too hot, but get it going. And the goal is to push it. I'm going to play with some plant growth regulator in that area too. I was talking with Winfield a good bit today, and he was telling me some stuff about, I was telling him how I want it to really catch up with the rest. And my goal will see how quick I can have it catch up with the rest as far as thickness of turf, quality of turf. And he was telling me basically, it might sound crazy, but you push it, then you hold it back. So might be a new song. Push it, hold it back.
That sounds like a country song, if you ask me.
I don't know if it'd be country or R&B. I ain't sure.
Hey, are your blades in that new area, are they much finer than in your more established areas of the lawn? Do they appear more, I don't know, visually different when you're
they are definitely a little bit they're maturing a lot quicker than I thought they would.
Yeah.
But definitely the stuff that's got a year on it is wider.
Yeah.
But also, cultivars are different, so blade width is different too. So but I think that's one reason you see such a color difference. Like if you look at some of the drone pictures, you will see a perfect outline of the younger stuff. You can see a color difference. It's obvious. And I think it's because of the blade is smaller. And I guess with the blade, I don't know this for a fact, but my thoughts is with the blade being smaller, thinner, it holds color better. The cells, from what I'm being told, the cells are tighter, so the color is better. A lot like your PGR does.
Mm-hmm.
Olee, why don't you put sand down and grow like real grass?
Real
Grow
grass?
like a putting green in those areas.
Yeah.
That would be fun,
I'd love to have some Kentucky bluegrass real mode in that area. Like a little putt, something other. I could do that.
So are you leveling
ready
that, Olee?
Huh?
Are you leveling that area, or is it ready to plant?
No, it's going to have a little more. It's going to have a little more work done there. It got a really good rain on it today. We probably got close to an inch of rain this afternoon. So, and I wanted it to do that because I'll have a handful of rocks to pick up after the rain washes the dirt off everything off the top. So,
yeah,
I got a little more there to dress up and slick up and get things looking good.
Yeah, sift through that leaf.
So your whole
compost, huh?
lawn, have you done, you're popping right now. You got some banging stripes, green as shit. I mean, so like when did you put down your first app? Because I mean, you were green all year pretty much. You were mowing in February, I know. So when did
Yeah.
you put down your first app?
Well, I put believe it or not, the first app that I put down, I think was January the 5th.
Okay.
We had some really good warm weather that was uncommon. And I put down some Earthworks 822 along with some molasses
Okay.
because I was trying to keep the soil as warm as I could, But that's when I first.
Is that all you put down then since then?
Nope. After that, I've put down one other app. I went a half a pound of ammonium sulfate with some molasses. And I'd had to look at pictures to tell you the exact date, but it was before that heavy frost. It was in gear. It was kicking butt. And then we had that, we had days that were in the 70s and it was strolling. I had some of the best color I've ever had with the ammonium sulfate and the molasses together. And then we had the temperatures drop, to like 18 degrees 2 nights in a row. And it really and truly didn't hurt the color for a few days after. And then it turned yellow. But I finally got all that mowed off the top. It took several mowings to get rid of that.
So do you treat your house the same as the office or your shop?
My shop,
Good question.
not 100%.
Okay, so like if you put something down
I
at your
tried
house,
different things.
you don't go put it down to the shop grass.
No.
Okay, so kind of different then.
Yeah. See, the CECs are different over there. The CECs here are like barely a 5. And then over there, it's like a 12. There's actual red clay at the shop, and it's, the holding capacity is a little different. Plus, it's not over there. If I water it at all, over I have to drag a water hose.
Mm-hmm. So, Zach, what about you? When are things gonna? I think you said it's starting to green up. You're getting pretty green over there.
Yeah, I'm starting to green up. Just a couple days ago, actually, it's kind of getting a little warmer. It's like today it was, 58 high. Tomorrow it's going to be like in the 50s and raining. Then it drops down to 40 for a couple days, and then this weekend it's supposed to be 70, and it seems like it's going to be kind of consistent after that. So, so I haven't put anything down yet. Even a pre-emergent, I haven't sprayed anything. Actually, I did put down a little bit of 0050. I had a leftover bag, and I just threw the rest down on my front. But I was actually kind of hoping to get some reaction out of that, but I didn't. And then so my first nitrogen app, that will probably be. So I'm gonna put down on my backyard. I'm gonna do both apps are probably gonna be at the end of April, and I'm gonna do a half pound of ammonium sulfate on my front lawn, and then my backyard is gonna be 1804 with it's like polymer coated sulfur urea, so it's kind of like a slow release. And I'm gonna do 2 different strategies. My front lawn's gonna be AMS, my backyard's urea.
Nice.
And I kind of just put together my plan really because I just got my soil test last Wednesday, my results. So, I may even wait it off until May. We'll see how the color's coming in really good, but we'll see how it's looking going into the end of April. And I may even hold off a little later just because I fed it heavy in the fall.
So is that typical for you, or is this something different this year?
So 2 years ago, in my front yard, I didn't get a very good heavy fall feeding. So last spring, I fed it a little earlier in the spring just because I missed a couple apps and had something going on. And so, but other than that, it's normal, typical. It's pretty typical.
When you guys like apply FERT in the fall, how do you manage when that comes in the spring? I've never grown a cool season lawn, so
How do you manage? Say that again, like with you, what you put down.
yeah,
in the
like how do you know when it's gonna come in? How do you know what?
I
When
mean,
you guys
don't
are putting
think-
down
it's
all
like-
different kinds of
it's like
stuff.
It's a nervous like 3 weeks. You're like, come on, dude, just fucking germinate. Which I'm gonna look so stupid. Yeah, I don't.
Are you talking about like a winterizer, like putting it to sleep, or what are you saying? Because you're normally with your Bermuda, you're normally dormant. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so for like what I do for Kentucky bluegrass is right around the Halloween time. I mean, that's kind of the sweet spot. The last time it's about to get really cold, it's about to get snowy, it's about to get whatever. And so right around that time is when I give it my last application. And that's going to be based off of whatever my plan is for the entire year of, 1 pound of nitrogen or whatever. And so maybe I have the last, couple pounds that I need to, or at least not pounds of nitrogen, but pounds of fertilizer that I need to put down to get to that number. And then essentially the grass is going to go more to sleep, and instead of growing up, the roots, it's kind of gets all fed down to the roots to go. And then, so when springtime comes around and it's warming up, it still has those nutrients in it that have been dormant all winter long.
So Brian, if you're targeting 4 pounds of N for the year,
Yeah.
you're planning on at least a pound of that in the fall, and then you're spreading the rest of that out as needed throughout the growing season. That's how you're handling it.
Yes. Okay. So essentially that, because again, I've done mostly granular. I know you and I talked a little bit, but I'm maybe too lazy to do the liquid or whatever, but granular. So
You should try it.
I know. I'll get there. I'll try it out this year, but so essentially, again, let's say if I don't think I'll do 4 pounds, but if I was going to do that, I would break it up over a quarter. So it's like maybe every 2 months I put a pound down. And so right at the very end, I've already put 3 pounds down. So I'm going to put that last pound down right before the winter time. And so spring comes around and it starts warming up and waking up and feeding on that dormant fertilizer and stuff like that to green up a little bit more. But it's going to be time to start putting down the next stuff, right? So now we're talking, we want upward growth instead of the downward growth that it went through for the winter time.
Yeah.
And it is, I mean, I don't know how much of a controllable it is, like Bill was saying, it's like cross your fingers and say, oh man, I hope it took, and I hope it, got into the dirt like it was supposed to. And if it doesn't, then you got to start your game plan a little bit differently, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, so like Aaron, I know the answers to what you're asking, but so
I legitimately
so if you think let's say you're shooting to apply 4 pounds. If I was shooting to apply 4 pounds of N, which I'm not, but let's say I am, and that's a consistent thing year after year. And, I would just look at it like, okay, I'm going to try to get 2.5 to 3 of those pounds down in the fall. And then it's all just going to, that's my part of my yearly thing. And that lasts throughout the year, so then my other apps are timed around that.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I think I'm asking the question because I'm trying to learn how to do a cool season grass in a warm season grass. Mm-hmm. And just like, honestly, like the concept of like putting a bunch of fertilizer down with the expectation that you're not controlling every element of that is like, doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And so, and I know like it's a big internet thing. And so I genuinely have no expertise in that. I'm just trying to figure that out.
What's your concern? Like, what are you worried about? Like, you're thinking that you don't want to put something down that's like immediate release and do it kind of like spoon feeding, or what's your?
Well, I mean, yeah, all liquid. I'm expecting, immediate instant results.
Yeah.
I'm not putting something in the soil, waiting on it, for 90 days. And so
I guess if I were to, I'm trying to think about what my thought process is like, at least let's just say talk about seeding or the fall, you overseed. I use the slow release just because I figured if I use something quick release, the existing turf would kind of gobble that up and maybe grow too much when you don't really want it. So you want it to be more gradual, and then whatever's already in the soil, those seedlings are kind of feeding off of that initially anyway. And then as they kind of more mature and they get out those roots that kind of go in better, by then maybe a lot of the organic or the slow release will start, being available for them when they're the hungriest versus the existing turf, maybe. But that's just, I don't really know. But yeah, so you put it down, and like Brian was saying, you hope for the best, you hope it works. Really, that's really what it is. You cross your fingers. So far, you do it 1 year, like, shit, that worked really well. Grass, kicked out. Whatever I did a good job. And you kind of
and even what and what you guys are saying, like if you look at like the pace growth potential, like April for most parts of the country, if you're in transition zone, is going to be a pretty high potential. That's where you're going to see your potential spike for cool season from what I'm looking at for my yard. Oh, look at that, Zach. And so, and for me, that says I'm starting to apply, some level of nitrogen, to my cool season. I'm not applying any nitrogen to my warm season at this point, but I'm looking at that and going, I need to start applying something. And your guys' philosophy has been, hey, I'm going to apply something in the fall that will last me through that first push. And so just different thought process there. And as I'm learning cool season, I'm asking the questions.
Yeah. Well, and it really is up to you, because some people don't do a fall fertilizer. Some of them will, maybe they do it in September and it will run out by the time winter hits, and then they'll be ready to go in February, March, or whatever time. Like Olee, he was doing it in January. So, again, depends on that. So, and Bill,
I think a lot of it's got to do with your weather, your temperature.
Sure.
The way things are here lately, you can't really base nothing off of anything, because it might be 90 degrees and then 2 days later you got an inch of snow. I mean, hell, things are confused.
Well, when you do, and this is something, I mean, if anybody can do it, I mean, like if you go in and you actually you can enter your locus or your local temperature 5-year average, and that's how they set your growth potential. And it's targeted for your area. This is just like a generic one from the internet. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you can go on Pace Turf's website and download the spreadsheet for your area and input all your information. So, over 5-year historical. I mean, that's the same thing you do for putting down pre-emergent or whatever, watching soil temperatures over, so many years.
Well, see, that's, like what you were asking. I was trying to, get things thicker and get everything to grow in, because we had such a dry October and November. So the seeding didn't go as good as I expected in the beginning. And I was really worried. I thought things were going to be super thin and look horrible. And we started getting a little rain, and I went out and put some ammonium sulfate. I'd have to look at what date, but I want to say it was probably close to Thanksgiving. I wouldn't give it a half pound of in Thanksgiving, I believe, somewhere right around there. And we finally started getting some rain, and boy, it filled, things started germinating and growing and pushing. And I would have never thought I would have done that through, November, December. So it never, I would say it never went dormant this year. It might've got popped a couple of times with some real cold temperatures, but it never, went to sleep.
Yeah, and
that's interesting.
You have like two, you pretty much only got 2 windows to put down fertilizer, unless you're, really managing your water and going all out. But in my situation, I have 2 times I could really put down fertilizer, and that's in the spring and the fall. And the fall is the most safest. So I get you. Some people, like in Aaron, you got 1 hump and you're done. we got 2 smaller humps. So it's
our humps are bigger than your hump.
Two
We get to take a break in between our two.
Yeah, but you guys aren't out mowing when it's 110 degrees.
No, I'm not. I'm not dissing on it, but I mean, it's like it. Looking at that just made me realize it's like, oh shit, like you go up and then you go down, and we're up, down, and so I mean, I would be dumb to apply fertilizer in July unirrigated. So that's why like you load up when you can.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Well, Bill made a good point too, is in the fall we're looking for a slow release, right? Is there any liquid that is a slow release, or is it all liquid is just a quick release?
I have a delayed release urea. I melt down. So
and how delayed is that? Like a week or two?
Mine is a product called Uflex, and I think it's like a 45-day. That's a very off the top of my head. So
yeah, that's pretty good for liquid.
Do you know what the mechanism of that is? Is it just like, is it got some kind of an ester or something on it? It has to get metabolized?
Yeah, I have no understanding how it works, because it's a poly-coated urea, I believe, but when you melt it, I don't understand how it keeps its residual. So that's above my pay grade.
You just know it works.
I don't depend on it for a 45-day residual. I picked up a bag of it. I tried it this fall, because you go back to the growth curve. My blue Muta is Kentucky bluegrass and Bermuda. And so, but the growth curve is literally, it's a wave.
Yeah.
And so trying to manage that has been, I'm just trying things, I don't.
That definitely adds a level of complexity to your game plan. I mean, you got two different things you're trying to grow at two different times, and they have, they're optimal at different temperatures and whatnot.
And you have two different things you're growing at one time at the same time. I mean, you're growing cool season with warm season mix, which I'm trying to wrap my brain around that right now. Like, okay, how would you feed that? And what would your strategy be with having, blue Muta?
Well, Cody, you've been doing the blue Muta too. What?
No.
How do you feed that stuff?
Cody's like, no.
Yeah.
No, when I first heard about that stuff, I did want to try it. I haven't done it yet. And
you have a rye overseed though, don't you?
Yeah, I have a perennial rye that's still green as the money in my pants right now. But oh boy, it looks good.
So what's your spring plans then, man? What do you got? What's coming up next? Is that gonna start getting too hot soon, and that will start to die off, and then your Bermuda picks up, or what's gonna happen for you, man?
No, I mean, it's getting pretty hot. I mean, today was about 88, and through the rest of the week we're mid 70s, mid 80s, and it's about time. But I'm not gonna be throwing, just like last year. I think I threw my first app down probably around the first or second week of May, and I'm not going to do anything in April. I'm waiting on someone or something to hear back from, because I really want to overseed my front yard with some good Bermuda and my backyard with some good Bermuda, and go from there. So I'm waiting on to do a whole bunch of things, but that's why I got my pre-emergence out of the way a long time ago, and that way by the time I hear back from, because honestly, I don't need to overseed my yard until probably middle to end of May. So the growing season. But yeah, I'm just loving it right now. Backyard starting to green up with that Bermuda, and then front yard still green with that perennial, which is crazy to me at 80, 75 degrees. So every time I come home, it's just like, oh man, it looks good.
Are you going to keep doing that, Cody? Are you going to keep overseeding with perennial rye?
Yes, sir. Oh man, I do not mind the brown gorgeousness of my backyard going dormant, but seeing it green all year,
yeah.
And oh man, I might do it next year in the backyard. We'll see. But my wife, she doesn't like that I'm always out there, and
yeah,
you gotta have your winter break.
But no, it's good. I am gonna keep on doing it, and we'll see what happens. And I don't know. I have no idea, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I do. I do want to come up, and I wouldn't mind coming up to you, Aaron, and seeing your yard and everything, and see what you got going on. You're not too far from me. I know that.
So speaking of around you guys, I don't remember what his name was. I'll have to go back there and look, but he wants to know recommendations for buffalo grass up around the Texas Panhandle, which would assumably be kind of in and around between you guys.
Oh, that's real far.
Have you guys dealt with buffalo grass before?
Isn't that a pasture grass?
Aaron DeFever. He wants to know
That's
for
up there in
recommendation.
Amarillo.
Buffalo grass in the Texas Panhandle.
Yeah, looks like some thick stuff too.
I don't think I've ever seen or heard of buffalo grass.
It's a warm season grass, I believe. Man, I don't even know.
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
It is. I
I
think it
think
is
you're
warm
right.
season, but I really thought it was pasture grass for cows and stuff.
For buffaloes, you mean?
Or buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, low resource alternative to traditional turf grass.
Buffaloes eat it.
I'd
So-
say if it's low resource, water it and mow it and see what it gets
Yeah.
you, and find somebody that does know a lot about it and go
Yeah.
learn it yourself. Have some fun.
Google it.
Oh, is that? So have you guys heard of like monkey grass? Like it almost looks like those spider plants kind of, but it's grass.
Like what?
I'm looking here.
Yeah.
This is saying that this buffalo grass can get to you can let it grow as long as 10 to 12 inches and then it'll curl up and drape over itself. Like I wonder,
What?
there's this field every day. So every day in the summertime, I drive home down this one road and there's this unirrigated field where it's like some guy's lawn, like a Olee type thing, but he's not super immaculate. He just cuts it short, like once a month or something. But it looks amazing the entire time. But it starts to look like a wheat field almost. It's so long. And I wonder, I mean, not really, but that's kind of what it comes to mind. You see wind blowing through it, like the Windows home screen picture from back in the day. I wonder if that's kind of like what buffalo grass could look like if you let it just grow slowly and don't cut it often. I don't know. That's cool. I wonder if that's what that guy has. Anyway, never mind.
That's cool, Aaron. That's a cool problem to
Yeah.
figure out and solve.
They were saying it is a warm season native turf. So yeah, you have to look. Someone said that it does need less input. So, like you said, water it, cut it. I mean, come on, guys. Essentially, that's like the main stuff, right? I mean, fertilizer's fun and, can give you that push and stuff like that. But in all honesty, just make sure your grass gets watered and just cut it, keep a regular cut. I believe we talked about this last year is if you started mowing it once, twice, maybe 3 times a week, you'll be surprised at what kind of outcome your grass will get rather than cutting it once a week or cutting it twice a month. Your grass is not going to look so great. So mow frequently, make sure there's water, and you'll have a pretty nice looking yard. Fertilizer is just for us crazy nuts that like to push the limits, right? See what we can get out of it, see what kind of color we can change it this year, and see what spots we can fill in. So
You forgot real mowing, Brian.
What?
That's the thing you forgot right there.
well, what's
That's why you're here.
what's fake
That's why
mowing?
you're here. Speak up.
So Aaron is the only one out of us that real mows. So how often would you
Cody
say
does.
you got a real mow?
Cody gets in the real mowing action a little bit.
What?
Come on.
No, not like him, but
Oh, you got
I
the
have-
hand. Oh, yeah, you got the push one, huh? I forgot about
You got
that.
a
Yeah, I found
manual?
that on Facebook Marketplace for like $10.
The
the one that,
Greenworks?
The one that Bill just
Yeah.
bought.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Bill started with it too. I
Yeah,
don't know,
Bill,
what-
how is it?
Dude, my grass it's not
It never
level
looks
enough.
better, huh?
No, I mean it does a good job. If I had level on and I could do it more frequent, because I was literally the other day. It was nice. It was like a Wednesday or some shit last week, and I was like, dude, I could just bust that manual out, just cut it real quick. Like I could just do that. It would take me like 15 minutes probably, but I think it has a lot of potential to have fun, man. I mean, you just get out there and give it a quick mow. I could see the appeal of the real mowing where you do it like every 2 or 3 days, because it's like you barely take anything off, man. You can walk out in flip flops, like real St. Aug, like these guys that just walk out there in shorts and flip flop and just it's like that's hella soothing, man. I would love it. Maybe
I'm
eventually.
telling you can tell the difference in the cut. I mean, when I did that first time with the reel, I'm just like, whoa. Even
there's
that
no
little
shredding.
manual reel mower, I'm just like, there's a difference. There's a big difference.
But there's a difference between a manual reel and a powered one, right? So,
Mhm.
Oh, sure.
Drunk
Oh,
lawn
yeah.
guy just got a
Yeah.
he just got a reel.
yeah, drunk lawn guy just got a
Ooh.
California trimmer.
Yeah, he feels like a brand new man, is what he said. I've heard. I've heard.
Yeah, he's out there when it's snowing in Utah and just cutting his yard. So his
He can
shorts
ride
and
that one.
flip-flops.
I don't know if he can ride the real mower.
Yeah, not sure about that one. We'll see.
Better
He'll
be
probably come up with
careful.
a way.
Yeah. So Brian, you were asking, I only cut my front yard in growing season once a week.
Really?
I use a growth regulator
Oh, okay.
and I manage my nitrogen inputs. So like my total nitrogen input for April, which is like above 40% growth potential for me in my climate, is 0.3 of a pound of nitrogen.
Yeah.
And so that's like my ramp up. And so you just manage that, and you
But
don't
if you
try and
didn't
overgrow
use
it.
a growth regulator, it'd be quite often, right? I mean, you'd still be out there every few days.
Yeah, I mean, like you can fertilize the daylights out of something and be cutting it every day. I mean, you guys could be doing that too.
Sure.
So
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, you just mow often and water, and your grass comes out pretty good. But if you don't, I think it was Lucky Green Stripe said, with gas prices now, who's going to be mowing 3 times a week? Ole's gonna.
what kind of mowers you guys got?
Well, it honestly, I could probably go through a
If you got a
whole.
yard like Olee or
Yeah, right.
Gooden or
I could
It's
go through a
about
whole
20
tank probably in a week.
I mean, my
doing it
5
that
gallon
many
bucket will
times.
last me almost all season, depending.
A 5 gallon.
Mhm.
Okay, but how many
got
times a
gas-
week are
you
you
got
mowing?
gas in a bucket?
2 or 3. 2 what?
You got gas in a bucket?
Right next to the gully.
5 gallon
Yeah.
bucket.
Glass it.
What's a 5-gallon bucket? He says.
With a loose lid,
We do it old
Keep that in
school
the
here in
kitchen.
Texas.
no lid at all. He just whatever
He's
comes in.
pumping
comes
it out
in.
of his backyard. Who you kidding?
About like he's about like that lady that showed trying to put gas in a plastic bag.
Yeah, in the trunk.
Yeah.
Your trunk.
God bless it.
Yeah.
No, I do want to know though, Aaron, when the temperatures get hot up there in Oklahoma, which I served in Oklahoma for a little bit. I know how hot it gets. Do you change your height of cut when it gets to the hottest point in Oklahoma? You just keep it the same? Because that's always been every year. I say I'm gonna keep my front lawn or my back lawn at an inch, and just keep on going. Then it starts getting hot, and then it just starts stressing out. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna lift it up. So you just keep it the same every year. I mean, that's what amazes me about all you real mower guys, like dealing with the heat and keeping the green like you guys are.
Yeah, I think so. Bermuda grass, man, when it gets hot, it's in its happy place.
Yeah, it's happy.
And so the thing that I have to do is worry about texture. And so I actually wish I had a groomer on mine, because the texture of the grass will get off and it'll get too dense. And so I'll have to, if I don't manage my nitrogen well, I'll actually have to scalp it midsummer again, which sucks. So
Cool.
I'm actually pushing. My plan is to push my front yard a little bit harder the beginning of this year, and late May, I think I'm going to actually tear my front yard out down to dirt. I'm not going to sprig it. I'm not going to reseed it. I'm just going to hardly rake it and let it grow from the root system back up. So I did a test plot last year in August, and I was like 7 to 10 days for about 80% coverage back. And so
Wow. Dang.
I'm going to push it a little hard at the beginning of this year to try and get it as healthy as I can. So I'm like, depending on what your long goals are and what you want to do, I mean, have fun and play around with it. And it's just a yard. If you haven't killed it, you're not having enough fun.
Yeah. Lawn's a lab. You're gonna win, you're gonna lose, but you're gonna learn, hopefully. So it's all fun.
Yeah. I mean, who really has said what you have to do exactly this way and that way, and if you're not doing it this way, you're doing it wrong, right?
I know some douchebags like that.
Yeah, there'll probably be a TikTok about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, you could just essentially do whatever you want on your grass, try something out. If it doesn't work, who cares, right? It'll grow back, it'll come back. Try something different, try a different fertilizer if the one that didn't work. So
yeah, don't do that with herbicides, and controlled things. I mean,
yeah,
like read the label, go by the label, please. Don't be stupid.
Right.
But if you want to be stupid, they can be stupid. That's all I'm trying to say is
don't video it.
Don't video it. Don't brag about it. If your yard gets brown for the whole season, don't post pictures about it. We don't want to see it, but
not everyone's yard is freaking. I mean, Olee uses that drone for a reason. That's what I hear.
What'd she say?
Oh shit!
It says you show the drone.
What'd you say?
You use that drone for a reason.
Yeah, to take some good looking pictures.
Yeah.
So before you go and rip up the lawn,
I got you now. I got you. It took me a minute to catch your phone. I got you. I can get you some close-ups tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
I've seen some pretty good close-ups.
You can ride down here. You can ride down here, and I'll show you some good-looking grass in a gully. Talk too much junk, I'll leave you at the gully.
Well, we'll take you on a tour.
When your lawn's the size of his pube, sometimes you need a drone when you're Olee.
Now, Zach, did you have Bill's soil test? I think we were going to pull it up.
I don't.
I know he put it in the drive, but I just wanted to kind of look at Bill's real quick. Because I think he's the only one that's done one so far. I said, I got snow on the ground this morning in Utah, so I still haven't done a soil test yet. So as far as what my plans are, I don't quite have any spring fert plans yet, but I'm now starting to get some green. They're starting to get a little more green than dead in the grass there. I do have some fairy rings. Well, I mean, they're not fairy rings now, but I can see the rings from last year. I had a couple spots that had so many mushrooms in them. So I was going to kind of go over that with you guys, show some pictures and see what I should do about that. Should I put a fungicide down, or should I just let it grow out, see what happens?
I'd let it grow out and
See what happens.
just feed it. I bet, now I'm no expert on this, but I bet it was I bet a tree or something was planted there, and I bet it was some roots, and sometimes residual effects, it can kind of lead to something like that. And then once it starts growing and once you start feeding it, it just kind of will mask it and it will just go away.
Yeah.
You normally bag your clippings, Brian, when you mow, or do we think that would be a good
I
idea?
usually do. Like last year, I kind of did it every now and again. Like, so you guys know I travel a lot for work. And so, when I'm gone for a week, I can't mow the grass. And so when I come back and it's, a couple inches high, I got to bag it. Right.
Yeah.
So the weeks that I'm home, I don't typically kind of bag it. And so I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. I just don't know, maybe, if I use too much fertilizer in some spots or whatnot. But, Yeah, drunk lawn guy said he's almost full green in his front yard, but the way that our houses face, he gets I have what's called a north-south facing, so my front yard hardly gets any sun in the winter time. And now it's just now starting to get some sun. So my backyard has a lot more green in it than the front yard because the backyard gets a lot of sun all the time. He has an east-west facing house, so he gets sun on both ends of that. So that actually helps.
Brian, he real mows his front yard now. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's why it just all of a sudden.
Yep.
Funny. Now that he's real mowing it greened up real quick for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dang, I'll have to have him come over with his real mower and green up my front yard.
I'm sure he'd love to. I'm sure he'd love to.
It's a little bumpy, so we'll see. I mean, there'll probably be some scalping areas and some 3-inch areas. So who knows?
Listen, I actually scalp when I actually rotary cut my front yard, make fun of Nate. And it scalped more using a rotary mower than using my greens mower.
Definitely. I could see that. Just
So,
it's kind of like hacking at it versus cutting it.
Yeah. And the wheels were dipping down in spots that had settled over winter and stuff like that. And so don't believe the myth.
Well, we got lawn of the week or something to go over.
Ooh,
Actually, let's do something else real quick. So some of you guys know we have our Simple Lawn Solutions Yetis and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give another shout out to Simple Lawn Solutions. They're helping us out, and they actually created a website for you guys to go on and check out what KOTG favorites are, what we like as far as Simple Lawn Solution products. So working on how to get to this landing page or whatever, but as you can see up here at the top, we got simplelawnsolutions.com/pages/KOTG, and they've got pictures of our yards up here on the top. Some more keep off the grass. If you'll scroll down, you'll see Olee, and then they put his top 3 favorites products on there. And you scroll down, you can see Bill's, his yard, and top 3 products. Gives their location and grass type. Then there's mine, same thing. And then there's Brent's, and then a grab a glass, keep off the grass. That's cool. They put that on there. They got Nate's, Cody's, and you got Zach's. So, and then they got the little screenshot from when Brittany was on, President CEO of Simple Lawn Solutions. So thank you, Simple Lawn Solutions, for creating that website for us and putting it on your page. So any of you guys are curious of what our favorite Simple Lawn Solution is, go check it out. We'll get a landing page, figure out how you guys can get there quickly clicking on it. But right now, just go to simplelawnsolutions.com/pages/KOTG. All right. So let's go ahead and do a lawn of the week. Zach dropped off camera, but hopefully he's still around. All right. So KOTG lawn of the week, man, it is firing up. I like it. It's great to see these lawns waking up, popping open, and getting ready to go for the spring, and just
it's a good time of year.
So KOTG lawn of the week, and I'm seeing lots of new people I don't even see in the chat. I don't know how they find out about us, but I'm seeing these Instagram accounts tagging KOTG lawn of the week, which is awesome. So to be entered in KOTG lawn of the week, to have a chance to win a free bag of Pro Pete fertilizer. Shout out to Pro Pete for sponsoring our lawn of the week for quite a while now. We appreciate that partnership with Pro Pete and doing that for all you guys, for having nice lawns and throwing down some good fertilizer. what you need to do is on Instagram. That's the only place we're really checking and looking for it is hashtag. That's the pound sign, right? For those guys. So hashtag KOTG Lawn of the Week. And you need to put it in a post or a reel. The stories disappear after 24 hours and we won't see it again. When you hashtag it, we all are following that hashtag. And so we all get notification that there's a new one posted and we'll go check it out. And then we share it in our group chat and debate about it and try to figure out who we feel is the best looking lawn that week. We can't pick 5 of you guys to be lawn of the week. Wish we could, but we narrow it down to 1. So if you don't win it this week, please submit it again next week. Use that hashtag again. Chances are if you didn't get it this week, you might get it next week, and keep showing off that awesome lawn. So this week, the KOTG Lawn of the Week winner is OG Nelson.
Ooh.
Man.
Boom.
So OG is a 2-time winner. He won back, I think we found him in episode 26. And he is, man, that's just a beautiful lawn.
I wish Nate was here, man. Those are some laser beams.
That's
You'd be
blinding.
proud.
Yeah.
I love the different shades of green that those ride-ons, those, Olee, all you guys with you ride-on mowers, man. It looks so good. I'm jealous.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I love his lawn.
He's a
big
cool
lawn,
cat too. He's a cool cat too. So he's already in the Lawn of the Week chat. So we have a little special thing going on.
Our
So
third-
I want to say
Timer
he's
chat.
about 2 acres. Is that right? If I remember last time,
Yep.
he's around 2 acre mark for his lawn.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
yeah, it was pretty awesome. Very, very nice looking lawn. So again, no disrespect to those others that have tagged this week as well.
Oh, yeah.
Please keep tagging. Do it next week as well. And like I said, we don't mind the challenge of trying to pick the best lawn. We like debating about it. But I do want to put a stipulation in there. Please do not use filters. Using a filter is like automatic disqualification. Okay. We don't need you to filter up when the sky starts turning like a bluish green color. We know there's a filter on there. So keep it real, keep it nice, and you can win yourself a bag of Pro Pete.
Yeah, don't get discouraged, guys. Keep on doing it.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
We've got another, season's just started, so we got another 30 weeks or so to do this. So it's a good chance
so
you'll
excited.
win a bag.
A lot of fertilizer.
A lot of fertilizer.
We are master debaters. That's good.
Cody's usually the winner on that one.
Always. Quick hands.
Yeah.
Hey, so I just saw these like porn cams popping up, and I'm a little late on the chat. So I'm a little late. I don't know what's going on, but earlier I saw some people popping in here without some random names and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
Bro,
I missed the whole thing, but for real, go spend some time with your family. Go spend some time with your kids. Go
Right.
get laid. Go pipe your wife. If you don't have a wife, go find a wife. Get on Tinder,
my
get on
house.
some apps. Look, why are you spending your time making different usernames, watching 6 dudes? That's what I want to know. So just saying.
Your
All you
kids
gotta do
need
is
a
ask.
For
Come
real.
over.
your kids need a dad, man.
I'll set you up
I-
real good.
I missed it earlier.
Yeah. No, and I said something about it too, because I hadn't seen any of these since I was on. Well, it's never been on our chat, but I saw them pop up on Thursday night. So I can only think of a couple people on here that was from Thursday night to tonight. So
Hey,
Cody,
listen,
we'll
you
introduce him to a stranger in the house.
Hey.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Stranger in the house extreme.
free.
It's just like
Yeah, stranger in the house. So no, I had a good time talking about this, guys. I've learned a lot. I think what I've learned as well is we're all doing something different. You know,
Mhm.
I didn't hear anybody say, "Hey, I'm putting Simple Lawn Solution 1648 down." Oh yeah, me too. And you know, hey, I'm putting 1704 Pro Pete down. You know, that's not what we're about. We all like to use something different. We all something works better on our yard than it does on the other person. So have fun. Get out there, find something that works for you. If it doesn't work for you, keep trying until you find it works for you. But you know, the easiest thing to do is if you're not going to fertilize, then just make sure you're watering and cutting that grass on a frequent basis. But the lawn's just is a good place for us to get away from the stresses of the world that we face, and let's have fun. Let's cut out the drama. Let's cut out the crap that's going on, and let's just have a good time and you know, enjoy the yard,
The
make
mow,
it green,
yeah.
and mow and barbecue and have a great year this year. Have a great season. So
Congrats, OG, for two-time winner, joining
Yes.
Rooted and myself in that
Nice.
club.
yeah, you guys are gonna have to start.
Is all three y'all
gonna
gonna get together and do a skit?
Oh yeah.
They probably are.
You too. You in that group?
We're still looking for the lawn of the week.
Are y'all gonna be
so-
like a three what?
Oh, what?
3-way.
I know.
Yep.
Known Cody.
Mm-mm.
I'll be there.
Giving Cody the alley oop, he come through.
Mm.
Yeah. So with that, we're at our 1 hour mark. So if anybody's got anything else to add, we can do that. If not, I say we wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Keep it
Call it
wrapped,
a day.
guys. Keep it
Unless
wrapped,
you
and we'll
want
see you
kids.
next week.
Say goodnight to the wives. Let's go.
Yeah.
Spend some time with
Later.
your babies.
Peace.